big changes in the classroom for this fall.
Governor Hochul easing back many COVID restrictions today, including no more test to stay. Erica Cost has been following this all day for us. She joins us live now with more. Erica.
Good afternoon, John and Natalie. Well, the biggest changes today have to do with when a student can stay home and when they can go to class. In the past, if you were exposed to COVID-19 and had no symptoms, you had to test yourself back into the classroom, or that meant you missed 5 days of school. It's something Hochul says could result in an entire class being out at a time. But starting this fall, all of that will change. The governor says she's encouraging districts to shift their guidelines to align with the CDC's. The CDC came out with new guidance earlier this month saying quarantine is not recommended anymore for asymptomatic exposures unless we're talking a high-risk congregate setting. That means test to stay is not needed. Instead, in the event of an exposure, the governor and the CDC advise a student mask for 10 days and stay in class. That's, again, if they're feeling healthy. If they're symptomatic, they're advised to stay home, and all positive cases mean quarantine for 5 days minimum and return to class with a mask when you are able.
Now have 2 years of experience to know that children are safe in classrooms, and when they're not in a classroom and the learning stops, the traditional learning stops, it can be devastating for the well-being of those children. We're seeing it in the mental health challenges they're facing now, suicide rates, depression, real mental health issues that were not there before for many of these children, and that is deeply troubling to us.
Now, coming up at 5 and 6, you'll hear from a local superintendent on their reaction to this news, and we'll also go more in depth on the state of COVID-19 locally and statewide. In Rochester, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. And the governor also says schools may want to opt for screening tests in congregate settings like a choir or sports team, for example. Those decisions are ultimately left up to the schools. Now, we also reached out to the Monroe County Department of Public Health, who says in a statement, quote, "The Monroe County Department of Health is supporting our local schools as they implement the updated COVID guidance from the state and CDC. As he has since the beginning of the pandemic, Dr. Mendoza continues to meet regularly with school leaders, and the Public Health Department is prepared to assist as needed," end quote.